Today we're diving into how your favorite childhood shows made you emotionally invested in the worst type of men. Like you and me, we loved these characters and wanted the best for them, but somehow Disney always had them end up with the worst of the worst. Sometimes they had two people to choose from. Why? Well, today we're going to explore every instance of this happening. It's more common than you think, and look into the reasoning behind it. At first glance, it's all cute and harmless, but jealousy, one of the most recurring romantic tropes in Disney shows, turns out to be eerily reflective of what's happening in some of these actors' current lives.
Ayo, Benny! Believe me!
But before we had to keep an eye on Selena Gomez was Alex Russo on Wizards of Waverly Place, which aired from 2007 to 2012. The show followed Alex, a quirky teen in New York who attended school, loved art, and worked at her parents' sandwich shop. The twist? She knows how to rhyme and can make things happen. But thanks to the statue of secrecy, she can't tell anyone, especially not Dean Moriarty, the non-magical guy she falls for in the first season of the show. They are really cute, but they don't last long. Alex ends things with him eventually because she doesn't want to lie anymore about her being a wizard, and she just wants more attention from him.
You're not really paying attention to me.
What are you talking about? I'm here, aren't I?
And attention is what she gets because enter Mason, the British werewolf who becomes her new love interest. The first of many. Not many guys, but many relationships, because this couple... I say first because how many times do you think they broke up? Not one, not two, not three, but 4 times. Let me repeat that. They broke up 4 times, maybe 5 if you count the movie, and the show only ran for 2 more seasons after he was introduced. Here's the timeline of their relationship. Season 3, they date for 1 episode. He comes back at the end of the season, and they last about 5 episodes into season 4. 3 episodes later, however, they're back on, and this time it lasts for 10 episodes. Finally, they end up together in the finale, but not really, because in the movie they are kind of not even a thing.
No one is happy for just who I am, except for one person.
This is embarrassing. She's talking about me.
Harper.
How can you be on break for half the episodes you're in? I don't think a relationship is only supposed to be a Monday to Wednesday type of situation, but I guess that's Disney for you. So why did they break up so much? Well, there are lots of reasons, but I wanted to talk about the biggest red flag, and that is Mason's jealousy. So a little context, Alex and Mason meet at school and quickly get together. They find out that they're not fully human because Mason equals werewolf, Alex equals wizard, she equals Onika, and 8 equals burgers. It's simple math, love. They break up a couple of times throughout season 3 for a variety of reasons, but at the start of season 4, they decide to just be friends. So let's go back to Dean Moriarty. Dean returns in season 4 trying to win Alex back. When they broke up originally, it was because he wasn't romantic enough, right? And couldn't live up to the fantasy version of him Alex had built in her head. But now, he's trying. He brings her a skee ball machine. He's polite to Mason, even though he knows it's a little awkward. And he doesn't have to do this because, y'all, Mason and Alex are broken up at this point and they're just trying to be friends.
Alex and I are just friends. Best friends. Nothing is ever gonna change that.
So, honestly, class act.
We're all friends here.
You think this is the mature direction the show might take. Mason and Alex have already ran their course. 2 breakups, maybe Alex needs to be with someone else now. But no, of course. That would be too easy, and life is on hard mode. So how does Mason respond to Dean coming back and trying to win back Alex's heart? And she, by the way, is eating his efforts up, okay? Well, Mason, who, remember, by the way, is a literal werewolf, responds by eating Dean. Whole. They are the same size. This is full werewolf form. There is no logical way he should be able to do that. Because when I say I eat my problems, people call it a unhealthy relationship with food. But Mason gets the girl for it.
Just friends. Best friends.
Anyways, jealousy like this wasn't cool in the 1700s, and it's not really cool now. Oh yeah, Mason is 300 years old. Add that to the red flag list. You might think, okay, well, at this point, he was still competing for Alex's love, even though it's they're saying they're trying to be friends, but it doesn't actually mean that. But after 2 breakups, maybe you should stop. But even when they do eventually get back together, later in the show, jealousy doesn't stop. Later that season, he goes full werewolf again, this time attacking a random guy he thinks is flirting with Alex. And the entire episode, Alex is telling him, no, there's nothing going on, just trust me.
You're my boyfriend, and I love you. But when I told you that there was nothing going on between me and Chase, you didn't believe me.
But of course, trust isn't part of their relationship. And it's not just Mason. Alex gets jealous too. There's this episode where they're at a party and she sees Mason giving another girl some googly eyes. Her response? Try to convince this girl that Mason is ugly, mean, and an absolute monster, aka force him into werewolf form.
Hey everyone, let's play a game called Embarrass Your Boyfriend. I'll go first.
Of course, it backfires. Mason gets super hurt, emotionally and physically, and it's not good. I do kind of understand where she's coming from. The first time they broke up, Mason did confess he always loved Juliet, Bridget Mendler's vampire character, who happened to be Justin's girlfriend at the moment. So that's a lot to unpack. Very Kardashian-style dating tree situation. But like, still, maybe that's something to talk about in couples therapy, not at a party, while exposing all your date's deepest, darkest secrets.
Mason cries if you just say, "Oh, Yeller. Oh, Yeller."
Just a thought. Oh, and that girl Mason was flirting with, she's important. We'll come back to her later, okay? There will be a pop quiz. So why did Disney keep pushing Mason as a love interest? Probably because he was a supernatural creature. Vampires and werewolves were really big in pop culture at this time. Plus, British equals instant appeal. British Invasion 2.0. But like, there's an actual practical reason too. One thing you should know about Disney Channel is that they have a typical 4-season show. If Disney made Mason a main character appearing in every episode, they have to pay him as a recurring star. But by keeping him as a love interest who shows up just enough, he stays as a guest star, and guest stars are cheaper. This was a union show. Shane Top from iCarly and So Random talked about this on his Smosh podcast.
They would all make sure that we missed one episode each so that they could keep us as guest stars.
Is that why they did that?
That is why.
They'd avoid paying more, even if that meant writing a character in and out constantly. Wild when you think about the billion-dollar empire Michael Mouse is sitting on. If I had a nickel for every time a Disney character took back a cheater when there was a better option available, I'd have 2 nickels. Not a lot, but weird that it happened twice. If you were a kid in 2009, your mind wasn't on the housing crash or the plane landing on the Hudson. You were probably thinking about one thing. Who would Hannah Montana choose? Jake Ryan, the pop star, or Jesse, the cool guitarist? Disney hyped it up as a massive TV event, and it honestly was. There were ads everywhere. Did I vote? Nope, no idea. I probably didn't even know how to use my dad's computer at this point. But I do remember how stressful it felt because I just wanted everyone to be happy.
From the Hannah Montana Season 3 soundtrack, now available on Walt Disney Records.
But the time came and, drumroll please, Jake Ryan won. Woo! Except not really, because literally his next episode, he cheats on Miley. In this episode, Oliver comes over and shows her a photo of Jake getting cozy with another girl.
Well, yesterday, my band was in Phoenix where Jake's shooting his movie, and my drummer texted me this.
And this was peak flip phone sidekick era. So that photo had to be taken very close up. No clue how he even got it, but Miley confronts Jake. They break up and she names drops Jesse immediately.
Well, now that I'm not with Jake anymore, there's nothing stopping me and Jesse from being together.
So why spend all that time building up Jake just to tear him down? Well, there are a few possible reasons. First, Disney was very image conscious. Is very image conscious. Cody Lindley, the actor who played Jake Ryan, was supposed to star in Starstruck this year. Jess Jared confirmed this in an interview that you can see on the screen. He was also allegedly recording songs for the soundtrack.
And 2 days ago, we recorded the first hit record, Starstruck.
So what's up? That incident, allegedly, cost him everything. His own spin-off, the movie, and his character on Hannah Montana. He was 19, which is underage in the United States. It was a public mistake, and for Disney, that's allegedly a deal breaker, especially since parents want to shield their kids from anything inappropriate. And Jake wasn't even the only cheater on the show at this time, because let's talk about Spencer from Good Luck Charlie, probably the most famous cheater on the Disney Channel. This man. He's introduced literally on the first episode ever as the guy Teddy has a crush on from school.
Mom, I'm not gonna be here tonight. I have a study date at the library.
Don't you mean Studley date? With Spencer?
They have a couple of hiccups, like Spencer saying PJ is a weird kid from school.
Wow. Sounds like you live right next door to that weird PJ kid.
Yeah, he's not next door. He's downstairs. And he's my brother.
But, overall, they start out as a very strong couple. However, of course, as the title of the video states, we are dealing with toxic relationships here, so what do we find out later in the season? That this man has a whole secret girlfriend. What's even worse is that he tries to hide it and gaslight Teddy into thinking she is reading too much into it because the girl right here, yeah, she's just my cousin.
So, you two have met, huh?
Yeah, turns out we're cousins.
Sir, number one, why are you wrapping your arms around your cousin like that in public, unless it's a sister-wives type of situation? And two, how can you have two girlfriends who go to different schools while working and playing basketball? Because, damn, I guess he got good time management. But man, I remember watching this scene because it was so tragic, and the emotions can be summed up in these 2 seconds.
How could you?
I'm sorry, I can't
Just don't.
Bridget Mendler's acting in that confrontation scene, she ate top tier, because I'm not even sure if she was acting. But remember earlier when I said to keep in mind the girl Alex, aka Selena Gomez, was nervous about in that one Wizard of Waverly Place episode? Well, if you remember, this is your time to shine, because yeah, that's her right here. Homegirl's a seasoned homewrecker, whether intentional or not. But imagine being the actor though. Casting really said, you need someone who looks like a cheater, a mistress, and they just kept picking her. But back to Spencer and Teddy. Watching the show again, you realize Spencer wasn't just a cheater. He was also kind of a jerk. Made fun of Teddy's dancing.
Lots of people can't dance. And you're one of them.
Well, dancing like this. I'm not one to judge, but if you, like me, think Teddy deserved a Jesse type of guy right about now, don't worry, they delivered. Later that season, we get this lovely duet moment from the two mistresses.
Spencer Walsh is a two-timing pig, a football player with big dreamy eyes, but everything he said turned out to be lies.
And during that brief break where Teddy rightfully didn't take Spencer back, she dates this guy named Beau. Meanwhile, Skylar starts dating PJ, Teddy's brother, who Spencer had previously made fun of for being lame. So yeah, sucks to suck, Spencer. You lost 2 great girls because you were greedy. Everything seemed to be going great, but of course it didn't last because Spencer wanted to worm his way back into Teddy's heart.
But I get that you and Spencer have had a long history together. Whatever you decide, I'll understand. Aww. I just want you to be happy.
And Beau, he had to go back to Missouri or whatever. But here's the thing. The actor who played Beau didn't have a DUI or scandals or really anything, so why did he get kicked out of the show? Well, fun fact. At this point, the actors who played Spencer and Teddy were dating in real life. And they had on-screen chemistry for days.
The best I can do.
Shane Harper, who played Spencer, also had a background in dancing and singing. You know, the mouse eats that up. So bringing him back and giving him more screen time, classic Disney marketing move. And it really was a good move. We've seen this happen before. Take Liv and Maddie, which aired from 2013 to 2017, where Dove Cameron's character had an on-again, off-again relationship with Diggy, played by Ryan McCartan. I won't spend too much time on them because honestly, the behind-the-scenes tea is way more interesting than the show, but Dove and Ryan were actually engaged during this time. Disney was definitely allegedly pushing them to be this perfect, young, talented, in love couple, and the two actually created a band together to really showcase how much they loved each other. But the breakup was messy, like the Beyonce Solange Jay-Z featuring Elevator messy. In one interview, Ryan even hinted that Disney likes when their stars date because it promotes the show and hits headlines, allegedly.
Let's just say, in a hypothetical situation, that while these two people were exploring their love, one or some of the producers from the TV show that they were on when they met and started dating got involved in how or when it was announced that they were dating to boost ratings for the TV show. Maybe the relationship in question is the product of, or at least influenced by, a greedy producer or a manipulative publicist.
Now back to Spencer and Teddy, who canonically stay together in the show. But in real life, different story. Because as we all know, Dr. Bridget Mendler is now launching a satellite startup with her husband. And it's not Shane Harper, which is totally fine. People break up. They were teenagers. But can you guess who Shane Harper is dating now? Jump scare, it's the same girl from Wizards and is the one he cheated on Teddy with. And to really twist the knife, Samantha Boscarino, aka Skylar, and Bridget Mendler were actually really good friends before Good Luck Charlie. They first were introduced together in the 2007 Nancy Drew live action movie. And
I'm sorry, what is your name as a group?
The Click. Click or clique? Click.
Used to hang out a lot. There are a ton of old pictures of them from the Good Luck Charlie days and even a bit after. People online have speculated that there was a real life cheating involved, saying it's why they stopped being friends and don't post about each other anymore. But I couldn't find any solid sources beyond gossip mags and fan threads, so I can't confirm that Shane Harper cheated on Bridget with Samantha Boscarino. So please don't go spreading hate. They've kept the relationship mostly private, probably to avoid fan drama. I don't want to spread rumors because I don't know them and don't want to ruin their lives. But what people online don't talk about is that Shane and Samantha were casted in God's Not Dead, released in 2018, probably filmed in 2017, which matches the relationship timeline. And this is like way after Bridget and Shane publicly announced their breakup in 2015. So if there were no cheating involved, what likely happened was that Shane and Samantha reconnected and Bridget stopped hanging out with Samantha because she was at school getting her PhD and probably thought it was weird to hear about her ex. Again, I don't know these people, so maybe there was cheating, maybe there wasn't. I'm not them. I don't know them. And unless you got real proof, not just vibes, don't spread hate, okay? But speaking of people who do deserve hate, let's talk about a few actual bad couples. Okay, maybe not like awful, but like, why were they even a thing in the show? Let's start with this man right here. No, not High School Musical era Troy, because hashtag Zanessa forever, but when Zac Efron guest starred on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody as Maddie's date.
Yeah, well, I don't need the vote of some tree hugger.
If you have it your way, there won't be any trees left to hug.
Next, you're gonna blame the oil companies for global warming.
Yes, because they're to blame.
Oh, cry me a river.
If I did, you'd pollute it.
You bleeding heart liberal.
Establishment puppet.
Do you want to kiss me as much as I want to kiss you?
I'm surprised someone as smart as you would have to ask.
Did you forget about this? Because I completely did until it showed up on my For You page. And all I remember thinking was, why is Troy Bolton kissing Sharpay? This episode aired just 1 month after High School Musical debuted on Disney Channel in 2006. So I don't think the network realized how big High School Musical would become, or else they wouldn't have made Zac Efron into some rich, owed money yacht boy from New England. But Disney does have this pattern of giving rich, spoiled characters a slightly meaner edge. See Spencer. And that brings me to the ultimate missed opportunity. Chad Dylan Cooper in Sunny with a Chance. This could have been the perfect enemies to lovers arc. Let me tell you where they went wrong though. The whole setup is Chad slowly realizing that the girls he's always teasing, Sunny, is actually someone he cares about.
It's like it's just you, me, and one more thing you're not gonna get. We should hang out sometime.
Camera's off, Chad.
I know. Sunny's always cute. She can't do anything without it being cute. Stupid cute.
It's so cute, it works, especially when he defends her but won't admit he likes her. If you don't remember in the show, Chad and Sunny are stars of rival shows. Chad's show is a scripted teen drama, Sunny's on So Random, which is a sketch comedy. Chad's show is originally more successful and he's smug about it, until Sunny starts pulling in viewers and he's like, wait, is she a threat or is she just cute? This was not in the script. There are honestly a bunch of great moments in the beginning of the show, like when he dresses up as a fake fan Sunny invented just so she doesn't feel embarrassed about not getting any fan mail.
I sent myself a fan letter, pretended to be my own fan, and now I get to go out on stage and meet the fan that I'm pretending to be.
Going to try on the beard.
Sounds
Sounds like somebody cares.
Somebody wanted to try on a weird beard.
So far, super, super adorable. But once they finally get together, Chad ruins it. After all that growth, he turns into a jerk again. Why? Because he finds out Sunny's show might have won an award over his, and he reports the vote to get it recounted. Like, huh?
Totally agree. That's why I ordered a recount of the votes for Best Tween Show.
You did what now?
I ordered a recount. Oh, great news. So Random lost.
You still don't believe she could have won? That's not even jealousy. That's just being a sore loser at this point. It's giving whatever Major Loser vibes. So after the recount, Chad's show actually wins. But like, what if the recount had shown she won fair and square? You just undermined her entirely. Red flag right there. They could have done a full Spencer Teddy season 4 back and forth, but we never got the chance because the show ended after Demi left. And honestly, maybe that was for the best. I have no idea what they were going to do with that.
So I guess I'll see you around, huh?
Yeah. I'll see you around, Chad.
Good.
Good.
Fine.
Fine.
So yeah, Disney Channel was not sending us healthy relationship examples. They were sending confusion, betrayal, and one too many dance breaks. And honestly, this was just one corner of the mess. There's so much more I want to dig into, like the couples that never should have happened and the ones that almost did. And the weird tropes Disney keeps recycling like we wouldn't notice. If you're into that kind of chaos, let me know. Thanks, bye!